Okay, calm down, people. Everybody's like, you never talked about Danny Jacobs. He's going over there. He fired Al Heyman and went to HBO. Oh my goodness. Let me address this. Al Heyman is not a promoter. Al Heyman really isn't a manager. He just advises. Now, was Al Heyman a part of this negotiation? I believe 100% absolutely he was. Works in great partnership with Eddie Hearn and wants to help build Eddie Hearn into one of his promotional teams and one of his arms and legs. Al Heyman runs the UFC. Al Heyman runs boxing on Showtime, and he's going to run it on HBO. Al Heyman is one of the smartest men ever to walk this planet when it comes to this because he does not seek the fame and notoriety. He doesn't want to be interviewed. You won't see an interview with him. He's hardly ever seen. This is the way he operates, and he's like the invisible hand that you see behind the wall. And it's funny how so-called boxing promoter managers or enthusiasts on Facebook, these guys supposedly are promoters or something, and yet they're talking about not their event. They're talking about Al Heyman. They're talking about fighters that don't even belong in it. That they're never going to be able to manage or promote or anything else, but they're talking about them instead of their own fighters. Or are they promoters? I don't even know. I just see them post up on Facebook. Now, let me break things down so that you would understand. This deal has been in works for a long period of time. And after the Gennady Golovkin fight, HBO was willing to make a deal to bring Danny Jacobs back on HBO. Now, it is yet to be seen if they're going to move Badou Jack over to Matchroom Boxing USA. Because what's happening over here is you've seen people like Al Heyman would send his fighters over to the UK, and they would fight over there on Matchroom Boxing. They'll go with Eddie Hearn, fight over there, Matchroom, and there you have it. He was helping develop Anthony Joshua into the name you see right now. Keep feeding him all his heavyweights. Besides Vladimir Klitschko, all Jacob's last opponents, besides White, have been from the United States. Al Heyman was keeping him busy, sending him his guys from overseas, having them come over there to the UK. Since Al Heyman has been in charge, you've seen the greater relationship with the United States and England overseas. You've never seen it at this level before. Never been at this plateau. Never been at this height. You've seen, I can't even count how many bouts. But there have been plenty of bouts with UK fighters coming here, us going over there, different countries, than ever before. I can't recall a time. I'm trying to recall a year where it was more. But it's funny because other people used to blame HBO or blame another promoter. I mean, blame a fighter. Floyd Mayweather's the reason why people don't travel no more. It's very funny, but that's just the mentality that people have when it comes to this situation, and it makes no sense. I sat down and talked with Eddie Hearn before because I remember his father, Barry Hearn, when he turned the keys over to Eddie and said it's time for you to really run things. His father do some of the negotiations behind the scenes, but he's kind of in retirement, and it's Eddie's job now. Eddie has it, and he's taking the company to new lights because he's young. He thinks young, and he thinks innovative, and he thinks, okay, this is why Frank Warren didn't grow. He still has the old mentality of running things. Why Eddie is all about modern times, modern events, modern things that's going on. So you could root and get behind something like that. See, Peter Nelson, who's the new executive at HBO, he has a good relationship with Al Heyman. They don't have a problem. Let me tell you that one more time. Peter Nelson, who's the executive vice president of HBO Sports now, he does not have a problem working with Al Heyman. He doesn't like the fact that some of the people that work for HBO have a nose up mentality when it comes to dealing with Al Heyman. Like they don't want to deal with him. Some people, but Peter Nelson's like, look, we need to do this job here and this and that. We need to bring these guys over, like get some of these fights here. Because their whole market and everything they are building is around Triple G. And when you have this is the same thing that happened with Don King. When you have the horses, the people will come. When Muhammad Ali wouldn't sign with Don King, Don King knew he would get Muhammad Ali anyway. If Muhammad Ali didn't want him to promote him because he had all the heavyweights. All the heavyweights that Ali needed to fight. He had them. So he's like, look, where are you going to go? How many of those stiffs are you going to be able to fight? Because all the top fighters, they sign with me. You got to go through me. And see, that's how you corner the market. That's how you box people in. Now it's like, man, we got to go through him. Exactly. They can't cut you out. And that's exactly what happened here. Where is Triple G going to go next? He's going to have to come see Al Haymon. And after the Danny Jacobs fight last year, and look what Jacobs was able to do, now a rematch makes sense. Well, Danny Jacobs is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Yeah, well, Daniel Jacobs is the first. We'll see who's next to go on that list and who they're gonna match him up with, but he's one of the first to go on there. He's gonna fight in November on HBO. Part of his 3-fight deal that he has on HBO. And we'll see how far that goes. But what's promised is that he's gonna get a rematch with either Canelo or Triple G, the winner of that fight. Which the rematch between those guys are not happening. So they're gonna put Danny Jacobs back in the ring with Triple G. And we'll see what happens there. All right. That should be it. All right, I'm out. That should be covered.